Hi guys, this is Umapathi here. I'm a cloud solution architect, consultant, and trainer. So in this video, I would like to discuss about what is a Terraform. So most of the people already know what is Terraform and why we use Terraform. So in this video, I would like to give a glimpse of what is Terraform, and we'll discuss about Terraform. Let's jump onto my on my slides. So what is a Terraform? So Terraform is a product of Ashikov. So Ashikov also provide created another tools we call Packer, Vagrant, and Console. We have some very named products from the Ashikov. So this Terraform has been developed by the Ashikov as an infrastructure as a tool. What do you mean by infrastructure as a tool? So we can define the infrastructure like server network in the form of code. So we use this infrastructure as a code for building, changing, and versioning. What does it mean by building? Building means we are creating a infrastructure using a code, and we make changes to the code using changes to the infrastructure using the code. So whatever you want to change, you can just change the code so that it will go and update the infrastructure. So apart from that, we can use this code as a versioning purpose also. Versioning means you can have a first version where you can create some set of resources, then keep on updating the another resources. So by this way, you can create a versioning for your infrastructure, and you can have whatever version you want to deploy, you can deploy it. So any bugs are there in versioning, you can revert back to earlier version, and we can provision this infrastructure very safely and efficiently. What does mean by safely? Safely means in Terraform we have a feature where you can able to see what are you going to provision before provisioning is happening. So you can do the complete end-to-end testing, what is going to deploy and what is not going to deploy. So you can see using a Terraform plan where it will give a blueprint of what is going to deploy on the infrastructure and efficiently. Efficiently means you can once you have deployed the code and it has done certain tasks, so you if you want to again run the code, so what it will do is it will just check for whatever resources has been created, then it will create only the resources which are not created. So it will check with the internal engine, and it will create the resources which are not yet created by the Terraform. So coming to Terraform syntax, it has been developed in the HashiCorp configuration language, so which looks similar to a JSON and is easy to learn, and much easier and simpler with compared to JSON. So they use the HL configuration language for this. And this infrastructure as a code is simple and declarative and programming language. What does mean by simple and declarative? Simple means it's a JSON format. You have to give key and values where you have to define. And coming to declarative programming language, so Terraform is having a feature where you have to declare the resource desired state. What does mean by desired state? Means I want to put one resource in particular state. So let me give an example with AWS EC2 instance. So I would like to launch EC2 instance with instance instance type with I can say m4.xlog. So I have created the uh, EC2 instance with the m4.xlog. Then if I want to, if somebody has changed this instance type from the portal, then I will get to know there was a change happened to your instance type. Do you want to revert back to m4.xlog, or you want me to just keep it ignored? So this kind of it will decide whenever you run, it will keep your resources in the state you want to put it them. And coming to our next point, this is deploy and manage infrastructure across a variety of public clouds. So now Terraform got more than 250 plus providers where you can deploy your resources on AWS, Azure, and GC, Google Cloud, and even Oracle Cloud. And we can use this Terraform for deploying the code on your private clouds and virtualization platforms such as OpenStack, VMware, and we can use this Terraform for the other third-party tools where you can deploy the monitoring, and you can have the every infrastructure end-to-end deployment using Terraform. So Coming to next point, this Terraform works manage both low level and the high level components. What does mean by low level? Low level means we have server, uh, server, compute and network and storage devices which are handled at low level. And when coming to high level components, after creating the VMware or any EC2 instance, you want to update the DNS records. So this can be done using the Terraform. So high level configuration components can also can deploy using Terraform. And Terraform applies the graph theory to infrastructure as a code. Graph theory means you will have a graph for the complete your infrastructure. So which energy is attached to what instances, and any security group is attached to more than one instance. You can have a you can see a graph relating this resource to another resource. So you can see entire big graph when you deploy hundreds of uh, resources in using Terraform on your clouds. And Terraform has the multipurpose composition tool. What does it mean? Means multiple tiers we can apply this Terraform using. We can deploy the SaaS products, we can deploy the PaaS, and we can deploy the infrastructure as a services also. So you can use this Terraform tool for the various purpose. Like you can have the plugin. You can declare the deploy the Elastic Beanstalk in the AWS cloud, and you can deploy web apps in the Azure cloud. So this will give a glimpse where you can use Terraform completely for the both three levels of service cloud services which we provide in our daily life. And apart from that, cloud Terraform also is its architecture is based on the plugin based, so you no need to install any client or anything for working on. If let me give a simple example here. So I would like to work. I'm an expert of Azure Cloud, and I would like to work on only an Azure. So Terraform doesn't allow you to install complete binaries for the other providers. So what does it means? Terraform will come in a form of binary where you will have the Terraform engine where you have to download and install. Then rest of the providers, whenever depending on your Terraform code, it will download the plugins which are required for the Terraform code. So we have multiple providers where they will provide the multiple plugins for your Terraform in code. So whenever Terraform applies execute its code, it will check for the providers and what are the providers used in the code. Based on that provider, it will download the plugins from the Terraform home site. So by this, I would like to conclude what is Terraform, and we'll catch up in the next video. Thank you for viewing, and if you like my video, please subscribe below and share with your friends. And I will be having more videos on Terraform and others IT tools. Thank you for viewing, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.